Hello students, today we continue with exercise 5.4 which we had started earlier. Okay, remember we are doing the cross product of vectors. Now the first 5 sums were done in the previous lecture. So the sixth question here, prove that 2a minus b cross 2a plus b where a and b are vectors is equal to 4a cross b. Now in this case, there is a small mistake in the question. It is not 4a cross b but it is 8a cross b. So do the proper corrections in your textbook also. So according to this question, now we take the LHS, which is 2a bar minus b bar cross 2a bar plus b bar. Okay. So in this case, now according to a property of vectors which we had learned earlier, 2 into 2 we can write it as 4 actually. 2 and 2 can be written as 4. So we get a minus b cross a plus b. Okay. Then in this case, when we take the cross product, it is just like multiplication. We write a cross, how we multiply two brackets that way. But only thing is the cross is not multiply sign, it is cross actually for the cross product. Okay. So a cross a plus b minus b cross a plus b, which gives us, upon finding the cross product, we get a cross a minus a cross b, not minus but plus over here, a cross b minus b cross a and minus b cross b. Now remember, every vector is parallel to itself and the cross product of two parallel vectors is 0. So a cross a gives us 0, b cross b is also 0. So let me just write it here for you, just for your reference. Okay, therefore we get 4 a cross b and minus b cross a can be written as plus a cross b. Remember, we are dealing with vectors here, which becomes 4 2a cross b. Thus we get 8a cross b, which is just like our RHS. So thus we solve the sum in an easy way. Okay. The seventh question, if a bar is equal to I minus 2j plus 3k, b bar is equal to 4i minus 3j plus k, and c bar is equal to I minus j plus 2k, verify that a cross b plus c is equal to a cross b plus a cross c. Now, first of all, what is b plus c? Okay, in this case, b plus c becomes 4i minus 3j plus k plus I minus j plus 2k. So we get it as 4i plus I, that is 5i minus 3j minus j minus 4j plus k plus 2k gives us 3k. So we got the answer for b plus c. Now we find a cross b plus c. If you remember how to find the cross product this way, we find it by the determinant. When the vectors are given in terms of I, j, k, we write I, j and k in the determinant as the first row. In the second row, the coefficients for I, j, k in the vector a bar come. So in this case, it is 1, minus 2 and 3. And with respect to b plus c, the coefficients are 5, minus 4 and 3. Then we solve it. So we get minus 6 plus 12i minus, in this case it is 3 minus 15j plus the last term, that is minus 4 plus 10k. Okay. Thus Thus over here we are going to get 12i minus 15 plus 3 is minus 12. So plus 12j and 10 minus 4 is 6. So 6k. Okay, so with this we get this particular term that is there. Oh, over here a mistake was made. 12 minus 6 it is. So it is 6i. So this is our cross product for the LHS or whatever. Okay. So let us number the statement as 1. Now we also have to find out what is A cross B. So this gives us 12i, oh I mean 6i, okay, plus 12j plus 6k. Then we have to also find out what is A cross B, again by the same determinant method. So we write ijk here. The coefficients of ijk in A, that is 1, minus 2 and 3. And the coefficients of ijk in the terms of in the case of B. Okay. Now what you are going to do is you are going to find this out, the answer, and also you are going to find out what is the answer for A cross C. After finding the answer for that, you are going to add both of them. You are going to add A cross B plus A cross C and verify that this term is equal to the previous term that we got. Okay, so I leave it to you as an assignment to be completed. So complete the sum. It will give you practice actually. Now we go to the next sum. Oh, before going to the next sum, I want to tell you about a particular concept, that is vector area of a parallelogram. Now, suppose OACB is a parallelogram, and suppose OA, vector OA is equal to A, and similarly let OB is equal to B. Now we know the formula for a cross product, that is cross product is A cross B. Suppose we take A cross B, we know that it comes out as mod A mod B sin theta into n bar, n cap, where n is a unit vector perpendicular to A bar cross A bar and B bar, perpendicular to the plane of A bar and B bar. Okay. Now area of the parallelogram, area of OACB, that is parallelogram OACB, is actually the area of a parallelogram is base into height. Okay, in this case it is OA into BM. BM is the height of the parallelogram. As you can see in the figure, BM is perpendicular to OA and BM is a height of the parallelogram. Okay, so in this case OA is equal to mod A. Okay, OA is given as mod A, and in the case of BM, for finding BM, take triangle OBM. Okay, in triangle OBM, which is a right angle triangle, we have sin theta is equal to opposite upon hypotenuse, that is BM upon OB, and therefore we can say that BM is equal to OB sin theta. Now OB is nothing but mod B, so therefore we say that over here, therefore BM is equal to mod B sin theta. So combining both these values, we get area of triangle, area of parallelogram OACB is equal to mod A mod B sin theta. Okay, which is nothing but the magnitude of the cross product of A and B, isn't it? So we can say that it is equal to mod of A cross B. So this gives us the area of parallelogram OACB in terms of the vector product that is there. Okay, and what is a vector area? So vector area becomes, just we remove the mod sign and vector area we get actually. Okay, so here vector area is equal to A cross B. So remember this formula. It will come in useful while solving the next few sums which are there. So in the next sum, find the area of the parallelogram whose adjacent sides are the vectors A bar is equal to 2i minus 2j plus k and B bar is equal to I minus 3j minus 3k. So here we first find out what is A cross B by writing the determinant, that is ijk. This way, thus we get 6 plus 3 I, okay, minus, this becomes minus 6 minus 1 j plus the last term minus 6 plus 2 k. Okay, upon doing that, we get the next step, that is 9i plus 7j and minus 4k. And therefore, we have to find the vector area. We have to find the area of parallelogram, not the vector area. And therefore, we find mod A cross B. Okay. So, mod A cross B is root of 9 square plus 7 square plus minus 4 square, which is actually 81 plus 49 plus 16. And this comes out as root of 146. So, area of the parallelogram is given as mod A cross B, which is root of 146. And as I tell you always, you are supposed to write the units of area or volume or whatever quantity that you are measuring. So in this case, it becomes root of 146 square units. Remember, you have to write the units, otherwise they might cut your marks in the exam. In the next question, show that the vector area of quadrilateral ABCD is half AC cross BD, where AC and BD are the diagonals of the parallelogram. Now, suppose ABCD is a parallelogram. This is ABCD, suppose. And in this parallelogram, AC and BD are the diagonals. So here AC and BD are the diagonals of the parallelogram. Now, by triangle law, we have AC is equal to, so in parallelogram ABCD, we have by triangle law, AC bar is equal to AB bar plus BC bar. Okay, you can see the figure and find out for yourself actually. It is AB bar plus BC bar this way. And similarly, BD bar, BD is equal to, if you take BD, it becomes BA plus AD, isn't it? So if you go in the proper direction, BD becomes BA plus CD, BA plus AD. Okay, now BA can be written as minus AB, and now AD is equal to BC, okay, because opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. Okay, so because we have AD equal to BC, therefore we can write over here minus AB plus BC as well. Instead of AD, we can write BC. So this becomes BC minus AB. Okay, so BD becomes BC minus AB. Now suppose as required, suppose we take AC cross BD. We are going to write AB plus BC cross BC minus AB. Okay, and then over here, by finding the cross product, by opening the brackets, etc., AB cross BC minus AB cross AB plus BC, or let me show you the next step as well, because it will be simpler then, because you are doing the initial aspects of the concept that is there. So we do it this way actually: AB cross BC minus AB plus BC cross BC minus AB. Okay, I hope you are understanding now. Okay, then in this case, we open the brackets and so we get AB cross BC minus AB cross AB plus BC cross BC minus BC cross AB. Remember, direction is very important, so writing the order properly is very important. Now you know that AB cross AB, AB and AB being parallel vectors, yes, AB cross AB becomes 0, so this goes away. Similarly, this term also goes in. So we get AC cross BD is equal to AB cross BC, and now minus BC cross AB can be written as plus AB cross BC, and therefore we get 2 AB cross BC. Now this 2 can be taken on the other side, and therefore we have AB cross BC is equal to half AC cross BD. Okay, now AB cross BC, this AB cross BC which is there is nothing but the vector area of parallelogram ABCD. Okay, so therefore we have the question, that is the vector area of parallelogram ABCD is given as half AC cross BD. So thus you complete the sum. Okay, study it properly and see if you are understanding it over. Now the 10th sum, find the area of the parallelogram whose diagonals are determined by the vectors A bar and B bar. Now if you remember, in the 9th sum we have already seen that vector area of a parallelogram ABCD is half the cross product of its diagonals. Okay, we are going to use the same concept over here in the 10th sum. So diagonals are A bar is equal to 3i minus j minus 2k and B bar is equal to minus I plus 3j minus 3k. Now we have A cross B. First we find A cross B. So this way. And then we get then we find the modulus of this particular vector that is there. So we get absolute value of this becomes Okay, so thus we get this. Now area of the parallelogram. So therefore required area of the parallelogram with the diagonals A bar and B bar. Is given as half A bar cross B bar. Okay, half mod of A bar cross B bar. When you read the sum in the exam time, read it very carefully. Check whether they are asking for vector area or area, because both are slightly different things, isn't it? So check properly. In this case, they have asked for area, so we use the mod sign. If they ask for vector area, we do not use the mod sign. We write directly A cross B. Okay. So here it is half root of 266 square units. Now in the next sum, the question is if A, B, C and D are 4 distinct vectors such that A cross B is equal to C cross D and A cross C is equal to B cross D. Prove that A minus D is parallel to B minus C. Now when we are dealing with the cross product, if you want to prove that two vectors are parallel to each other, we prove that their cross product is 0. So in this case, we prove that A minus D cross B minus C is equal to 0. That is what we are going to prove over here. So here A, B, C and D are distinct vectors, matlab different vectors. So we say A is not equal to B, which is not equal to C, which is not equal to D as well. Okay, all of them are different vectors. Okay, therefore we can also mention that A minus D is not equal to 0 because both are not equal. And also B minus C is not equal to 0. So thus when we find the cross product as 0 of these two vectors, it is not because A minus D is 0, matlab these are non-zero vectors. So their cross product can only mean one thing, that they are parallel to each other. Remember this actually. Then we have A cross B is equal to C cross D. Okay, also we have A cross C is equal to B cross D. Both of them are given to us. It is from the given data that is there. Okay. Now subtracting both. Okay, subtracting say this is say the first statement and this is the second statement. So subtracting two from 1. Okay, we get A cross B minus A cross C is equal to C cross D minus B cross D. And therefore, A can be taken common here. So A cross, remember the position is very important. It is A cross B and A is in the first position and second vector also A cross C. And therefore, we can write A cross B minus C is equal to, in this case, C cross D and B cross D have D common. Okay, but D is in the second position. So we write it accordingly. So we write C minus B cross D. Okay, then in the next step, okay, C minus B. Now in the next step, LHS remains the same, A cross B minus C. Now in the RHS, we can write, if we change the order of C minus B, it becomes minus B minus C cross D. Okay, and also in the next step, suppose D cross D is brought to the initial position. The minus sign changes, again it becomes plus. So we get D cross, okay, vector D cross B minus C in this way. So therefore we have A cross B minus C is equal to D cross B minus C. Now we bring both of them to one side and therefore we have A cross B minus C. Those who are understanding the concept will be surely and following what I'm getting it. Okay. B minus C is equal to 0. Now we write over here, we combine. See, we see that B minus C is a common bracket over here. So we combine and write A minus D cross B minus C is equal to 0. So we have already said that A minus D is not equal to 0 and B minus C is also not equal to 0. That means they are non-zero vectors. So if their cross product comes as 0, it only means one thing, that A minus D is parallel to B minus C, as they have told us in the question to be proved. Okay. In the 12th sum, if A bar is equal to I plus J plus K and C bar is equal to J minus K, then find a vector B satisfying A cross B is equal to C and A dot B is equal to 3. In the 12th sum, they have given A bar is equal to I plus J plus K and C bar is equal to J minus K. Find a vector called B bar satisfying two conditions, that is A bar plus B bar is equal to C and A dot B is equal to 3. Both the conditions it has to satisfy. Suppose we take this vector as B bar is equal to Xi plus Yj plus Zk. Now according to this condition, we have A dot B is equal to 3, which is given. Therefore, A is I plus J plus K dot B is Xi plus Yj plus Zk. Which is 3. And if you remember how to do the dot product, I dot I is 1. So x into 1 gives us x. The coefficients are multiplied together. Okay. So x plus y plus z is equal to 3. Suppose we number the statement as 1. Now the other condition given to us is A cross B is equal to C. Again, this is from the question actually. Now therefore let us write C on the LHS, and so C is actually J minus K is equal to A cross B. A cross B, by the determinant we get this way, and solving it we get Z minus Y I cap minus Z minus X J cap and plus Y minus X K cap. Okay, which is actually J minus K on the LHS. Now by the equality of vectors, we equate the coefficients, okay, of I, J and K on both the sides. So therefore we are going to get Z minus Y is equal to 0 because there is no I term on the LHS. In the next value, the next value is actually X minus Z. By applying the minus sign, okay, we get X minus Z is equal to 1, and in the third term, it is Y minus X is equal to minus 1. Okay. Now, suppose we number the statements as 2, 3 and 4 just for our convenience. Now, from 2, we are going to get Y is equal to Z. So, this implies that Y is equal to Z. And similarly, from statement 3, we get X is equal to 1 plus Z. Okay. So, putting values of 2 and 3, putting Y is equal to Z and X is equal to 1 plus Z. in equation 1. What was equation 1? Equation 1 was x plus y plus z is equal to 3. So instead of x we put 1 plus z, instead of y we put z, and plus z is equal to 3. So therefore we have 3z is equal to 2, and therefore z turns out to be 2 upon 3. Now we also have from the condition 2, from the second condition, we have y is equal to z, as you can see, and therefore we have y is equal to also, y becomes also 2 upon 3. And what about x? X is equal to 1 plus z from the condition third, okay, which is actually 1 plus 2 upon 3, which is 5 upon 3. Thus we get the value for x, y and z. And therefore b bar, which is xi plus yj plus zk, which we have to find out, it becomes now 5 upon 3i plus 2 upon 3j plus 2 upon 3k. So this is the required vector that is there. You can even take 1 upon 3 common and write the answer, or this can be your final answer as well. Okay. So we have completed. Today we have done around 7 sums, I guess. Okay, there are 6 more sums in the exercise which are left. Now those sums we are going to cover in our next lecture. So do practice these sums and make the concept thorough. These sums are quite important from your exam point of view. We'll meet in the next lecture now. Okay, so bye students.